Hello and welcome back to Not Just Buildings. Now, you might be wondering, do I have the right podcast? What on earth is Not Just Buildings? Well, listener, I'm pleased to tell you that we have renamed Chamber Vibes to something that more accurately reflects the purpose of this podcast, which is to tell the stories of businesses, nonprofits, and institutions in the area of Bedford, Virginia, which we do by talking to the real local people working behind the scenes. Plus, the new name is pretty catchy, and it's inspired by longtime Chamber and board member Bill Moss, who always says that businesses aren't just buildings, they're people. Thank you, Bill, for your years of service to our chamber and business community. We appreciate you. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking with us as we grow, and if you're new to the podcast, we're glad to have you join us as we kick off 2026. Now, for our official introduction, welcome to Not Just Buildings, where we interview the local people behind businesses, nonprofits, and institutions in the area of Bedford, Virginia. My name is Foster Garrett, and I am the Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce, which is a membership organization whose mission is to serve as a catalyst for local business success, a convener of regional leadership, and a champion for a vibrant and resilient economy. However, before we get to the interview, I would like to highlight some of our upcoming programming and events. We offer a little bit of everything for everyone, so I encourage you to stick around to learn more about what's next. But if you want to just jump straight to today's interview, no worries. You can find all of our programming on bedfordareachamber.com, and I'll drop our phone number at the end of this episode, so make sure to listen all the way through. Well, we have been very, very busy this summer. This July, we're only a weekend and we've already had one event and we're having another one tomorrow. Our Canva Basics workshop last week went amazingly. We need like a week to work through all these Canva projects. We had around 30 people in the room and everybody got one-on-one time to work on a project. We did a walkthrough to give everybody an overview of the basics of Canva. And we had such a great time sharing tips and tricks and just seeing what everybody in the room was making. Everybody had different things that they were trying to learn. And it was a really great collaborative way to come together and help each other grow. So hopefully we can do another one of those events. All of our smart networking events have been going so well this year. I've been so pleased with the turnout and with the engagement and just with the impact of it. Not only is everybody in the room learning, but I'm learning so much. And I like being able to take things back for the chamber to just improve what we are doing. Our next Smart Networking event is going to be July 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Bedford Area Welcome Center. And the topic is AI, and Dr. Casey Myers from Virginia Tech is actually going to be joining us to facilitate this. So if you're interested in learning more about this very hot topic, please join us. And if you have some free time tomorrow, July 9th, please come on out to Bank of the James Stadium. We are going to be back with the Hill City Howlers to watch them play ball and network and just have a good old time. We have 2 VIP skyboxes reserved. They're side by side. We're going to have just a big party between the two of them. Well, not really. We're not actually going to be partying Hill City Howlers. It's just going to be fun, okay? We're not going to get too crazy. But it is informal. It's really fun. You can bring your partner. You can bring your kids. We do have a couple spaces left. You do have to RSVP in advance so that we can submit your name to the call box. So you can go and say, "Hi, I'm with the Bedford Chamber." And then they send you to the elevator and send you right on up to our door. But it should be a lot of fun. It's free, exclusive to chamber members, and we will have food provided. So it will be a great time. If you're looking for last minute plans, please join us. And the Hill City Howlers are actually pretty dang good. So it should be a lot of fun. Other things that are coming up. We have a lot of ribbon cuttings, like a lot. There are a lot of things opening and expanding and celebrating milestones. We have 3 this month already scheduled, coming up 2 next week for Tandem Behavioral Health on Monday, July 13th. And then the Bedford Area Family YMCA's new teaching kitchen is opening on Wednesday, July 15th at noon. So those are 2 really important ones. And another one that we have is a brand new business. It is the Peaks of Otter Artisans Gallery, and that is located at Gross Orchard. So that is going to be absolutely amazing. We are so excited to celebrate with everybody. We have more ribbon cuttings coming up in August. 'Tis the season for celebration in the late summer. So mark your calendar. It is coming to a ribbon cutting just means a lot to the business that you're supporting. And it's a great way to make new connections and just show up for other people in our community. So like I said before, you can learn about everything I just talked about and more on bedfordareachamber.com. And you're always welcome to reach out with questions. The Chamber would love to hear from you, whether you're a Chamber member, a community member, or just a listener who enjoys our podcast. But that is more than enough for me. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce today's guest, Alec Brebner with the Central Virginia Planning District Commission. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, Foster. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming down. I am super excited to talk to you. I feel like the CVPDC has so much going on, and a lot of people don't really know that much about your organization. So
that's true. It's a small government organization.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any taxing or regulatory authority, so most folks haven't heard of it. But we do a lot of planning and coordination among our member local governments, which include the city of Lynchburg, as well as the counties of Bedford, Amherst, Appomattox, and Campbell, and the towns of Bedford, Amherst, Alta Vista, Appomattox, and Brookneal. So we keep very busy. We have several initiatives going on right now, including a comprehensive economic development strategy, which sounds aspirational, but the idea that a small government agency could do something that is truly comprehensive
Mm-hmm.
about economic development in Central Virginia is a tall order. And so we're committed to doing a great project for our member local governments and our communities. But really our focus is how can we as an organization and how can our member local governments support the economy? How can we advance economic prosperity and wealth creation in Central Virginia? So we have a project that's underway now and a survey that's underway now too. And so the purpose of my coming out today is really to encourage folks to participate in that process and get on that survey. The PDC is, folks won't have heard of it, but it is a political subdivision of the Commonwealth. There are 21 planning district commissions in Virginia. They were created back in the 60s for the express purpose of advancing community and economic development. There's one in Roanoke. There's one, the one I'm in is our office is in downtown Lynchburg. There's one in Charlottesville. So most cities have them, and they serve the surrounding areas. So I've been doing planning district commission work for most of my career. I moved here from South Carolina a few years back, and I've loved living in Central Virginia and getting to know the area and the people and the businesses. And so it's been a great experience so far. So, but we're really eager to hear what folks have to think about their community and their region and how it can be a better place to live and work.
Absolutely. I feel like whenever you do a comprehensive survey, one, it's hard to get people to respond and respond thoroughly, but it's such useful information for guiding people that maybe aren't on the ground or don't know what everybody's lived experiences are like. And sometimes you get an amazing idea. We just did our annual membership survey and we only have like 400 members, but even if 10% of them respond, I'm like, wow, this is so useful for not only better serving our membership, but for our entire region. Because now we know the challenges that you're facing, how maybe we can fill some of the gaps, how maybe our partner organizations can fill gaps. And it just helps us better attune to the people that we're trying to serve.
Absolutely. If it's super important to hear from the people who are directly affected by your work. And so we're really making an effort to try to reach and this because it's an economic development strategy, we're making an effort to try to reach businesses, hear what business owners and employers think and would like to see improved. And like you said, you can get so many good ideas through this type of process. So our survey has, lots of leading questions, but also open-ended questions where we really are looking for ideas. We have an agricultural component to our strategy. We're looking at manufacturing, of course, entrepreneurship. Probably the biggest topic that people are really talking about in Central Virginia is workforce development. In fact, there was an article today in the News in Advance, the local newspaper, about how Virginia has been identified by CNBC as the number one state for customized workforce training in the United States. So this is a strength for us as a state, and I think that we as a region with CVCC and the 5 school districts around Central Virginia being such strong collaborators in workforce development, it's an opportunity for us to really parlay that strength into more wins for our region. Yeah.
So you might not know this about me, but my first job out of college was working for the Virginia Employment Commission in workforce services before they became Virginia Works.
Okay.
And I had no idea about anything like workforce services. I really didn't know anything. but I just kind of threw myself in and would go to different people and say, hey, can I help you with anything? And so I learned a lot about WOTC. I learned about the Virginia Workforce Connection. I just learned about a lot of different incentives, the Virginia Bonding Program, a lot of different things that are available. And I was like, wow, I really wonder like how much like this is having an impact on people, because it's such great opportunities and a lot of it doesn't come at any cost.
Right.
And on the business side of things, there's so many great resources for employers if they're trying to upscale their workforce, if they're trying to do some new training, if they're trying to buy some new equipment for employees. And I think it's really impressive. And I think it's kind of the job of business partners like the chamber, where we can connect employers to more of these resources and have them take advantage of it. Because a lot of times it's just, you don't know what you don't know. But there's so much out there.
Absolutely. It's just workforce development being a good example. A lot of folks don't know that there is a career center on Oddfellows Road in Lynchburg that's intended to serve all 4 counties as well as the city. And it's a place where people can go to get help with resumes, to connect to job opportunities, to if they need help finding access to employment. There's even resources to help people get to work because transportation is often a barrier. And so I think a lot of people aren't even aware of that this type of resource exists. But the folks that are able to take advantage of it, like you say, can have a life-changing event come from it, because they might find money for training that wouldn't otherwise be available, and they can get them into a career and not just a job.
And even with we should have gotten Tim on this.
Yes.
Morning. This is just a plug for Virginia CareerWorks in the Central region. You guys do a great job. But even with the internship placements and different where people can be placed with an employer and then, Virginia CareerWorks pays that employer to have them on the job for 6 months or shadow or whatever. That's actually how Casey at this studio, that's how she got here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And now Casey is the MVP. So it's really cool to kind of see the connections that can be made with workforce development and the partners that are working towards these goals together, because we're all kind of swimming in the same lane, so to speak. And you mentioned school partnerships. Bedford County Public Schools, they do a good job. I am very impressed by their career and technical education programming. We work with them very, very closely, and it's really cool to see. I kind of see our connection with them as being a gateway to the business community becoming more involved, because it's not only just about, having interns at your workplace or hiring kids after graduation. It's also, getting involved with the teachers in the classes, and what are some of the things that you're looking for with employees, or what are some of the trainings that might be more essential to the jobs that you're doing. I mean, with like diesel mechanics and things like that, where there aren't a whole lot of those. They're in high demand, but what are you actually looking for from somebody who's getting into that workforce? A lot of times teachers are trying to teach, they don't necessarily know.
Sure.
So I think it's just, there's a lot out there. I think that the SEDS survey is a good way to kind of get all your information, all your ideas out on paper, and maybe learn a little bit in the process.
Absolutely. And I hope it's hopeful through the SEDS that we would find additional ways that we can help to make those connections and help to spread word and find out where additional effort could be invested. As an example, where additional effort is being invested now, my organization supported Appomattox County and Central Virginia Community College with the expansion of a welding program, expansion of the regional program into the town of Appomattox, into the old Carver Price Elementary School. So there's a lot of talk around the region right now about elementary schools that might be closing or going offline for lack of use. And this is one that went offline decades ago, but is being brought back to life through community partners and through a commitment by the county government and as well as CVCC to invest in that space and bring it back for education needs here in the 21st century, because that space went offline, I think, in 1994.
Oh, wow.
And so that kind of feedback, if there are things that we can do, these are the kinds of strategies that could be identified in the SEDS to say we need to restore this facility for this use. And my organization is committed to helping to find the resources, the funding to help to bring projects like that about. We don't do the training, obviously, at the CVPDC, but if we can find the right alignment between demand and need, then we can make those projects like that happen. And a lot of that demand is about employers saying we have additional need for employees in such and such field, and Virginia Career Works is obviously very much in tune with that as well. But if we can identify those strategies and bring a lot of partners together, we can often make big projects happen.
That's awesome. I love to see big collaborations like that happen.
Me too. It's a win for our region.
It is, absolutely. So we've talked a lot about economic development, but we haven't really dove into the local part of it. I feel like how the local governments kind of fit into the CVPDC. I know you said that it's like a membership.
Right.
So how does that work collaboratively?
So the Planning District Commission itself, it's a long name for a board of directors, and it's the members of the Planning District Commission are the local elected official and the county administrator or town manager from every member. So that's 20 people right there.
Wow.
Yeah. And Megan Lucas from the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance is also on our board. And so we work together to try to find those projects where there's an opportunity for two or more localities to work together towards a common goal. And then we also provide services to those member local governments. So, for example, we have our Jeffredo Granger is working with the town of Bedford to help the Hilltop Neighborhood Revitalization Project. And so that's an example of a service to local governments. But we have regional projects. For example, we have a regional radio communications board at the PDC that connects first responders, police, fire, and EMS all throughout Central Virginia. We provide waste management at the Region 2000 Services Authority landfill in Campbell County. We are the federally designated metropolitan transportation planning organization, so we'll have a long-range transportation plan exercise beginning in a few weeks.
So exciting.
we have between Virginia Career Works and the Planning District Commission, we only have about 8 people on staff. That excludes all the folks that run the landfill, but 8 people in office are covering a lot of bases and spending a great deal of time and energy collaborating and finding resources to find opportunities for localities to work together and to create wins for our region.
That's amazing. You guys do a lot.
Thanks.
You have you have a lot of different fingers in the pie, I feel like.
For sure. Yeah. There's a lot of different avenues and a lot of opportunities. Some of these things, the radio supports public safety, solid waste management, transportation. These are core government services. And so there are 133 cities and counties in the Commonwealth. And so if each of them are doing it on their own every time, they aren't, because they're looking for economies of scale and opportunities to reduce costs and to share resources.
I went to the Virginia Chamber of Commerce Executives Conference in March, and we always have very relevant topics for things happening across the nation with chambers, but also locally. And one of the biggest topics was regional collaboration. And I think it's very interesting. A lot of times when you live somewhere or you work somewhere, you kind of just think about your own community.
Sure.
But when it comes to infrastructure, I think it's very important to see it as more of a comprehensive. It's not, if you upgrade 460, it doesn't just affect Bedford.
Right.
It affects Roanoke, it affects Lynchburg, it affects every community that it connects to. And I think I think the work that you guys do is very important for bringing people together and convening them and working together for a strategy that works for everybody. So kudos to you guys with your small team too.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah. One of the things that folks don't often think about is they don't think about where the municipal and county lines are. So what you described, your experience of you might be living and working in the same community. There are other folks that might live in Bedford County, commute into Lynchburg every day, and maybe they even send their kids to school in a third community, or maybe they shop in a different community. And so they're part of a larger, between Forest and New London and Lynchburg, and we're part of a larger metropolitan economy. And that if everyone is thriving together, we're all better off for it. No locality can very effectively exist in isolation, especially on economic development terms, because labor sheds, housing markets are just larger than a single locality.
Yeah, and we're all different too. Bedford is different from Lynchburg. It's different from Roanoke. It's different from Appomattox. It's different from Amherst. But it all, people are coming and going and living here together. You mentioned that the transportation results are coming out soon. Do you want to give us a preview? Heard it here first.
I hate to get out ahead of the actual planning district commission too far. But,
I thought I'd ask.
I appreciate it. We do anticipate that that a public outreach component for the long range transportation plan will begin after the planning district commission's July meeting. We meet the third Thursday of every odd month, and that will be 5:00 at our offices in Lynchburg, and that will be sort of the official launch of the public component. And so we will have resources on our website, which is CVPDC.org, Charlie Victor Paul Delta Charlie.org. And right now the pop-up is that will jump out and hit you is the SED survey link. So if some folks visit our website, they will find that survey link right now. That will close on July 17th, and then the long range transportation plan information will probably pop up and to succeed it.
That's awesome. You guys keep it rolling.
And we do. One thing after another.
Yeah. So I'm curious because something that's been going on with the town of Bedford over the last, I think 2-3 years has been the comprehensive plan. So how does this survey kind of feed into something like that?
So the comprehensive plan will include an economic development chapter, and so we will solicit feedback from folks, from our member local governments. And so one of the pieces that we have is our consultants from Short, Elliott, Hendrickson have gone out and met with every member local government, typically either the town manager or the economic development staff, or in many cases both, to find out what their priorities are, what they think there might be an opportunity to collaborate on regionally, and we'll incorporate those recommendations into our SEDS, into the comprehensive economic development strategy. And so really it's there's sort of a up and down relationship, right? So the local plan will feed into the regional plan. And then so there's then required kind of an ongoing feedback loop whereby we'll monitor performance of the recommendations in the SEDS, see how they're doing, and routinely touch base with the board of directors, the planning district commission, which includes all those member local governments, to see how these recommendations are performing. And so I guess the typical order of declension in local in government is that you have local, regional, state, and federal, and so those things tend to feed up in terms of that input and idea creation. Local government is so often where things happen, ideas and where government really affects people. It's we hear a lot about the federal government, but it doesn't necessarily affect our day-to-day lives as regularly as local government, because local government is at its core public works, public safety, and public education. And so our goal is to figure out how can we support those things at a regional level. And then we seek resources from the state and federal government to help to support implementation of local government priorities on the ground. So the comprehensive plan of the town of Bedford will advise our document, and we will in turn work to help them implement where their opportunities exist for partnership.
That's awesome. I'm getting a lot of ideas.
Great. We'd love to have you share them.
I will. Alec, is there anything else that you want to add? I feel like I've learned a lot.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I really enjoyed speaking with you and talk a little bit more about the SEDS. I would just encourage folks to visit the website, participate in the process. Folks are welcome to Zoom into our meeting. It is available virtually if they would like to see it. People are welcome to come. I will be honest with you, it's not nearly as exciting as the city council meeting. So we'll probably not be banging down the door, but we do really want to hear from folks that are knowledgeable and interested in our economy, and to have them participate in that survey and to help them advise a regional strategy. So thanks again for having me. The website is cvpdc.org. I'm Alec Brebner. Y'all can find me online, or I try not to be too difficult to find, but bureaucracy is all I can do so much.
It's okay. They'll get to you somehow.
That's right.
Alec, I feel like you're a pro at this.
Not at all. I think I'm long-winded.
You're doing a great job. No, you're doing great. I didn't have to ask you how to get in touch with you. Perfect.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure. My pleasure.
You're listening to Not Just Buildings, hosted by the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce and produced by Media Squatch. There are so many great people working together to make the Bedford area a great place to live, work, and do business, and we hope that by telling their stories, our listeners are able to become more connected to our community. After all, there are so many hidden gems, services, resources, and amazing opportunities just waiting to be seized, right here in the area of Bedford, Virginia. If you like this interview, I have great news for you. New episodes come out every week, and we have lots of episodes for you to catch up on in the meantime. Episodes are available on Media Squatch Plus, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our weekly newsletter, Facebook and website, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. If you want to learn more about us at the Chamber, we encourage you to check out our website, bedfordareachamber.com, or give us a call at 540-586-9401. Thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out for the next episode of Not Just Buildings.